what's up guys? I got a banger for you today, all right? We got my whiteboard set up, which is sick. I got them both from Kmart, which is awesome. This video is about how everything in your entire life stems from your beliefs. Everything, every outcome you've had in your life, all your external factors, internal factors too, stems from your beliefs, and how we can change our beliefs and our subsequent actions and results to get what we want in life and the mechanisms behind that. So yeah, if you're struggling in life, you're not seeing the results you want to see, you're not getting, you're not really taking the right actions, and your belief system is like, oh, I feel like I need to believe different things, but I can't. This video is for you. And yeah, so let's get into it. Not going to waste any time here. So firstly, at the top, we have the beliefs, of course. So everybody believes certain things, right? I'm not going to talk about like when you're born and how your beliefs are created, because that's a different story. But we're just going to go from the point of right now. So right now you have certain beliefs, okay? I have certain beliefs, whatever they are. They might be that you like pasta, you think pasta is the best, and you think that doing drugs is bad, and you think that you shouldn't cut in the line in a supermarket because it's immoral, whatever. Everything. You have all these beliefs, right? And what do these beliefs make you do? They make you take actions, right? So you take actions in line with your beliefs. Your beliefs cause you to take certain actions, right? I feel like everyone can agree on that. And what are those? Those are your habits. So for this whole example, I'm just going to use the example of like women, because I'm guessing it's dudes watching this video. So I'm going to use the example of women for this. So your belief is that you're an ugly guy, or you're not attractive, or girls don't want you. So your habit is, when you see a hot girl, you don't talk to them, you don't say anything, you don't make eye contact, you look down, whatever. So I think I'm ugly, I don't think girls like me, I'm going to look down when a hot girl is walking past, which is your habit. And what does this action lead to? Leads to the result, right? The result is no girls talk to you and you're single forever, right? In this example. But the result can be whatever. If you believe that burgers and ice cream and whatever is super yummy, and you don't believe that you should prioritize your health, then your habit is going to be to eat lots of junk food, and the action you're going to get is, and the result you're going to get is you're going to get fat, right? But I want to put in something. This is an interesting one actually, because when I wrote it down, I wrote down here variance, which is what I'm still going to write down, okay? Because I'll explain why. Some actions, the result is always going to be the same. If you eat too many calories, you're always going to get fat. Or if you never talk to any girls, well, you're going to stay single. But some actions have variance. Like if you went up to some random person, if you just started walking around the city and you went up to a random person and you asked every single random person you walked by, you said, can you buy me a coffee? Sorry, I'm broke right now. Like, can you buy me a coffee? Some people will say yes. Some people say no. Then you can change the way you ask it, but you're still going to get yeses and nos. So there's variance involved. So it's not you can't fully control it, but it's definitely controllable on the larger scale. Like if you ask them nicer, you probably get more people giving you coffees, but still, variance, not 100% controllable, but still a large influence. Anyway, so you get the result. Now what you do with the result? The result causes you to reinforce your beliefs, right? So I'm an ugly guy, no girls like me. My habit is when hot girls come up to me or hot girls walk past me, I'm going to put my head down, I'm not going to talk to them. So not much not much variance in that one, but your result is going to be, well, no hot girls are going to talk to you, you're going to stay single. And if no hot girls talk to you and you're single, your belief is going to be that no hot girls talk to me and that I'm a loser, right? So your result is reinforcing your belief. How though? So here we have habits, here we have variance. This is the emotions, in my opinion. I'm just going to stand up and write this. So stick with me here. If no hot girls talk to you and you are single, the emotions you feel is loneliness. You feel loneliness and you feel sad, whatever, which creates the belief. So I personally think that whatever result happens, it's going to create an emotion in you, and then that's going to create a belief, right? I think that's fair enough. So, how can we change all of this? How can we change our actions and not let our actions depend on our beliefs? Well, let's go the other way. Self-control, of course. So if you want to not take the actions in line with your current beliefs, you need to exercise self-control. And that is going to be hard because you need to be disciplined. Right? You need to stay disciplined. So, no girls like me, so I don't talk to them when they walk past me. However, I'm going to exercise self-control and discipline, and even though I don't want to talk to them, even though there's that feeling inside of me that, oh, no, they don't like me, you're going to get rejected, I'm still going to stay disciplined, and I'm going to talk to one girl a week, or whatever, for example. That's an example. Next one. If you're taking actions and you're getting a certain result, obviously there's variance involved, but still, change your actions through a new strategy. Right? So let's go back to the coffee example. You might be going up to people and saying, hey, give me a coffee. Hey, I'm poor, give me a coffee. Well, no one's going to give you a coffee. You need to change your actions. You need to change your strategy. Hey, how's it going today, man? Oh, nice jacket. Yeah, I was just, down on money today. I was wondering if you'd be able to buy me a coffee by any chance. Like, oh, good if you can't, though. Like, don't worry. Right? So you're still trying to get the same result, but you've changed the action you're doing to, you're changing your strategy, right? You're being nicer. You're being, trying to engage a conversation before just immediately asking for a coffee, right? And lastly, how can we change our beliefs from our results, right? We need to change our change our interpretation, right? So obviously everyone has had bad things happen in their life when they were a kid, whatever, like you all have problems in your life. But if you can go back and you can reinterpret the scenarios that occurred in your life, then you can change your beliefs that you have about yourself, right? So I think that's the most important. I think there's the most impactful stuff, like stuff that happened when you're a kid, obviously. But let's instead use the more basic example, like asking a girl out. Let's say you asked a girl out in the past. Let's say your belief is that no hot girls won't talk to me because you asked a girl out in the past. And the result was they said no. That made you feel sad, so your belief was hot girls don't like me. Well, why don't you reinterpret the result? Instead of thinking, oh, hot girls don't like me, that hot girl wasn't particularly interested in me on that day, right? Which is also a more accurate interpretation of the result, right? But this is hard because you have to relive your emotions. Sorry, I know it's really bad writing, but to reinterpret the result, you're going to have to relive the emotion and you have to refeel that emotion so you can kind of like rewire it in your brain and take it differently and empathize with your past self. Because I think that's a really important thing. If you want to reinterpret the situation that happened in the past, then you have to empathize with your past self. And the only way you can empathize with your past self is by feeling those emotions that you felt in the past, right? So that's what you have to do for that one. And that's why it's hard, because you have to really relive your emotions. Exercising self-control is hard because you have to stay disciplined. And changing your strategy is hard because you have to challenge your ego and your limiting beliefs. For all of these, actually, I'm going to leave out this limiting beliefs part because I'm going to use that for the entire thing. Strategy, ego. So you have to challenge your ego. You have to say, I was wrong. My approach was wrong. I thought I knew better, but I didn't. And that stings the ego, obviously. But that's what you have to do. Challenge your ego. So this one's hard because you have to stay disciplined. This one's hard because you have to challenge your ego and, maybe feel a bit dumb. And this one's hard because you have to feel those emotions that you felt in the past that you didn't like at all, which led you to your bad beliefs in the first place, right? What does this entire system create? Creates your identity. This is really important. If you can understand this and really understand each mechanism and how it works and why it works, I think you can rewire your identity and pretty much become whoever you want. Because once you realize, so this is obviously the whole thing, but then who are you? You're not this thinking thing. Like you're not your beliefs or your results or your actions or your emotions or your habits or your ego or anything. You're this guy over here. You are the observer, right? Let me just fully draw him. You are that's you, right? You're the observer. This is like a magical universe guy, right? Let's give him some dots to show that he's a magical universe guy. This is you. You're just consciousness. Like you're just consciousness and the observer of this entire thing, right? If you think about it, you're not your thoughts. Obviously, I think most people understand that, and they understand that you are just simply experiencing your thoughts and watching them happen. Just the same here. This is you up here. You're nothing. You're just observing the world. But your identity is this large system here. And what I think it shows you is that really, identity isn't real. There's no such thing as identity, because if you can change these things, then you can change them and your identity can change. Your identity is lucid and can move around and change according to how you want it to change and the results you want to get. Like if you want to get a different result, if you want to start talking to more girls, right, for example, then you're going to have to obviously start talking to them when they walk past, which is going to take some discipline. But it's going to take some discipline. That's like the second part. The first part is I think this comes first, right? So 1, reinterpret. This is to change your beliefs, because the wheel spins this way, but you need to work kind of like backwards, right? So 1, actually we'll go like this way as well. So 1, relive your emotions and reinterpret your past situations or your past results. So in the case of girls, you might have to visualize that time you were rejected and that time that you cried because you were lonely and embarrassed and whatever. And you're gonna have to empathize with your past self and understand that it wasn't because I'm a loser and no girls like me. It was just because this particular girl wasn't interested in me, for example, and or she wasn't having a good day. Maybe on another day she would have been interested, right? That's 1. So then 2, you need to change your strategy, right? So we will go backwards. So we're going backwards. So the wheel spins this way, but to change it, you spin the other way, right? So 1, relive your emotions. 2, you're going to have to change your strategy. So now you've identified that your beliefs you have, which are making you take certain actions, are wrong, right? So you need to change your strategy. You need to change your strategy to get a different result. So what's the strategy you're going to change instead? Well, it's going to be, when a hot girl walks past or whatever, you're going to say hi, or you're going to just look up and smile at least, or something like that. So whatever your strategy is, write it down. So firstly, to change your belief, you need to relive the emotions. Secondly, you need to change your strategy and write it down. Or you don't have to write it down, but it's probably better to do that so you get it in your mind. Then, thirdly, discipline. Discipline comes last, right? Because discipline is just implementing the change of action that you don't want to do. You don't want to take this action because it's uncomfortable, right? Because you're going against what you've believed in the past. You're still fighting this old belief until it changes, right? Because when it will change is when you will see enough results spinning this way. We see, girl talk to me, girl talk to me, girl talk to me, girl talk to me. So then your belief will change, right, over time. But still, you still need to stay disciplined because this wheel spins real quick this way and you need to and spin it the other way, right? So you need to be disciplined. But discipline comes last. You know what I mean? Discipline is the last mechanism in the wheel for changing your whole identity. The first is processing your past emotions that you didn't want to feel. Then you reevaluate your strategy. Then you stay disciplined. So I feel like a lot of people online, talk about, oh, you got to stay disciplined, blah, 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 blah. But really, everyone's missing the start. Like, you're going to have to, you're not going to just become, you're not going to just change your habits. Like, maybe for a few days you can do it and just stay really disciplined. And, just because, just for the sake of being disciplined. But if you don't even understand, why you're trying to be disciplined in the first place, and you don't understand this whole system, then you're just going to burn out because it's just going to be frustrating. It's going to be hard. You're not going to see results straight away, by the way, as well. Maybe in some things you will, but in most things, right now, for example, me posting content on YouTube, I'm not seeing any results. Hey, I'm just going to make sure I'm recording because I feel like I'm not recording. Oh, I am recording. Okay, cool. Anyway, I've been posting on YouTube and Instagram for a few weeks now, maybe 3-4 weeks. I'm not seeing any results. I've got a few, I've got some followers, right? Don't get me wrong, but not many. So it's still going to take a while to see these results to change this belief. But if you can't stay disciplined for that amount of time, if you're not even aware of the system, then you're not going to be bothered to stay disciplined because you won't see any results change and you'll just give up because you don't understand the system that's at work here. You need to keep going, boom, boom, reverse it. So you're going to get slowly different result, slowly over time. And then slowly over time, your belief will change. And then, boom, your identity will change, right? But I feel like identity is the whole entire system. But you get what I'm saying. And then you little happy observer over here can just change your life, I guess, and just do whatever you want, really. So yeah, this is the system. And I made a reel about this today, and it came up on the reel saying that I think this is from Atomic Habits, maybe James Clear, Atomic Habits. I think he had a similar system, but I didn't look it up or anything. I just kind of I'll show you my book. Hold on. I just started writing, or I started drawing. I just started building this wheel because I was trying to figure out what's going on. I actually had it at the very start and I didn't realize. But I started doing this wheel and I went kind of deeper. I was trying to figure it out. And I just kind of went on a tangent. And this was yesterday. But anyway, today I came back to it and I started the wheel again. And I was trying to do, because I had identity, beliefs, habits, actions, and results, right? So habits has been put here, beliefs is here, identity is in the middle, right? So it's kind of all shifted around. But over time, I got it and I found the final solution, which I then wrote in bigger here, which is this, right? This thing here. But yeah, I didn't search it up online. So if people are going to say I'm copying something, I honestly didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, this is a system. Each thing, you now know how to change each thing, right? But you should start here. start here. So start reliving your emotions. Like obviously it's hard, right? And a lot of time you don't want to because it's uncomfortable emotions that you've faced in the past. But relive your emotions to reinterpret your result, so you realize these things that happened to me in the past weren't because of X belief, X limiting belief, right? So you've established as a limiting belief. You've now eliminated the limiting belief, obviously not fully, but you're aware that it's there. Next, you change your strategy. So you change the approach you're going to have so that you change your actions. And then you need to stay disciplined to stick to these new actions, because you're not going to see the results immediately and you're going to want to revert to your old actions. But if you understand the system and you understand why you're doing it, you're much more likely to keep being disciplined even if you're not seeing any results at the start. But I promise the results will come over time, and then your beliefs will change, and then bang, and then it won't be hard. It's hard at the start to change it, but then once your belief changes, it just gets put back in the system, and then it's chill. So yeah, that's my system. I hope you guys liked it. Hopefully this video was engaging enough that people stuck around and listened to it, because I think this is really valuable. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. And I'll probably do more whiteboard videos. I'm not sure if it will be a whiteboard one tomorrow or what it's going to be, but I'll definitely start doing some more whiteboard videos because I do enjoy it. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some more systems and whatever. But yeah, identity for now, that's how you change it. Any questions, leave them in the comments, or anything you want to say, leave it in the comments and I'll reply. So yeah, thanks.